Three, two, one. Here we go. Hello, this is David Gonzo Mammano, and welcome to the Gonzo Experience Podcast. So excited that you're here with us today. This is the first Wednesday of the new year of 2022, and I'm doing my first Solocast. That's right. Believe it or not, over 5 years of podcasting, almost 5.5 years, every week, and I have never done a Solocast. And God knows I like to talk. So what I want to talk about today is, so here we are. It's the beginning of the year. And we all have New Year's resolutions. Most of us do. And we all mean so well, right? We're going to really make that difference in our health, our weight, our wealth, our relationship. We have great intentions. Maybe we actually write them down and do what we're supposed to do, right? You know, like, what is the goal? What is the why of the goal? What is the how of the goal? What do we need to do to turn the needle? All that stuff. But the sad fact is the vast majority of us are going to be really good, you know, with our efforts, our intentions the first week or two. But then as we get towards February, we kind of, like a rubber band, just kind of go back to our original form. And so it's really tough. It's really tough to go through and see through your goals. So what I want to talk about today, not too long, but what I want to talk today is, maybe some tips of how you can make lasting change. And what I also want to do is get your input. What I want to do is create a free webinar. And I want to get your opinion if you think it's a good idea and if you would come. I want to create a free webinar like really soon on how to create goals for the new year and actually make them happen. There is a science to it. I have some really good friends, John Mitchell and Kelly Hatfield from this company called Think It, Be It. This is what they do for a living, is work with people to create the vision of where they want to be in their life as it relates to whatever's important to them. With most people, they have a career vision. They have a health vision, mental and physical. They have a finance vision. They have a relationship vision. Many have a spirituality vision. Some people have a spouse vision, a father, mother vision. Basically what is the vision of where you want to be, by the end of the year. And they've created this whole formula, this whole system, really a whole strategy to make sure that it happens. And I've done it. It's super incredible, fantastic. It's based on the science from the book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Now, many people have read that book. Many people have read Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. But then they don't get rich. So, there's the goal is, how do you read this book and actually do it? So it's based on the science from that book. They actually help you implement the program. Many of us will read a book, go to a seminar, and then 2 months later, we forget 90% of what we read or what we heard in the seminar or workshop or, class, whatever you want to call it. And so let me know if you are interested in a free webinar, about this subject. I'm thinking of putting together a free webinar with John and Kelly from Think It, Be It. And I would do it soon. I would do it soon because I know the clock is ticking. So first and foremost, if you're interested in joining me on this free webinar, I don't have the date yet. We're just, I'm just kind of thinking about it. But throw me an email, david@davidmammano.com. Let me know you're interested and I'll put you on the list, david@davidmammano.com. Or you can text me at 585-317-8254. That's 585-317-8254. But to get back to things that I can share with you like right now to help you with where you want to be. So like I said, we all, get up, first thing in the new year and we're ready to go. So the first and foremost, I would say, like, what are the categories that are important to you? What are the goals that are important to you? And, sometimes, especially in the beginning, the fewer the better, right? A lot of us have 10 goals. Well, I think sometimes if you have 10 goals, you have none. Can you have 1, 2, or 3 goals and really set up some milestones with those goals before you start creating some other ones? Usually people will have a health goal, like I said, a lot of times people will have a relationship goal and a finance goal. And even if you have your spouse or significant other, bringing that to the next level, or if not, what are you looking for? So what I would encourage you to do is go find your happy place, go find your quiet place, and put aside all technology for a while. Leave your smartphone in your room, some room that you're not in, computer, everything, and just have a little mini retreat. Be by yourself with a pen and a notepad and start writing. What are those categories that are important to you? Is it relationships? Is it health? Is it spirituality? What is it? And start writing the vision of what it looks like is regarding, if you're going to have a 10 out of 10 in that category, what does that look like? And maybe you want to say, where am I now? Like relationships, you can say, where are you now? Well, I'm a 4 out of 10. In why? What's missing? What would make it a 10 out of 10? And that becomes your vision, right? That becomes your vision. Finances, where are you now? Are you in debt? Do you want more savings? Do you have a goal of, getting in the stock market, investing in cryptocurrency, whatever, what is a 10 out of 10 in your finances by the end of the year? And that's great, and then creating a plan, kind of reverse engineer it, a step-by-step plan to get there. A lot of you are very stuck in an area of your life within one of these categories, finances, relationships, health. And what I have found is that you will never reach your true potential if you are stuck in one of these categories. So how do you get unstuck in one of these categories? Do you have to make some drastic changes? Do you have to do a little revolution in your life with one of these categories? Ed Milet, who's one of my favorite business motivators, life motivators, I would say. He had a podcast that I loved because he talked about that he has this vision of when he dies and goes to heaven, he meets God, and God introduces him to the man that he could have been if he maxed out his potential in all these different categories of his life. And his dream is that he actually is that man. So he did max out the man he could have been. And the biggest tragedy in his mind, and I agree with him, is if, you're with God and he says, well, here's who you could have been. And you have fallen short in many areas of your life. But if you really focused and maxed it out and set goals and a system to achieve those goals, you would have been that person. So that's really important. And I think about that. First of all, when I'm alive, I want to be in my rocket chair when I'm 120 and not have any regrets, really like appreciating the journey and not having any regrets about things that I, didn't do, any chances that I didn't take. When I was in my 20s, I thought about being a stand-up comedian, and I did a comedy contest here in Rochester, and I won funniest person in Rochester contest. And I thought to myself, my God, what if I'm supposed to be the next Jerry Seinfeld? I had a friend in Chicago doing comedy, and I said, you know what? I'm 22. I'm moving out there. I'm going to give it a shot, because I would have been on my rocking chair with regrets that if I didn't try it. So I tried it, and I was out there for a while, and I realized, at that time in my life, it wasn't my calling. I enjoyed it. I had fun, but ended up moving back to Rochester because it wasn't my calling at that time. Now, recently, I've done stand-up comedy again, and I loved it. And to be honest with you, I'm going to explore it a little bit more as part of my business model. I love speaking. I love professional speaking, and I love comedy. So that may be, one of my speeches that I give to business crowds is I call it my Tony Robbins meets Jerry Seinfeld talk, because if they had a baby, it'd be me. So anyway, I digress a little bit. Getting back to you, where are you in your life? Where are you dissatisfied in all these different categories of your life? And what's going to make it a 10 out of 10? And just start writing that out. Take your time. Just write. Don't type on a computer. Like, write. I think that there's some power when you have the pen to paper. It sparks something in your mind. I think some creativity. So I really suggest that you do that. And then if you want to, type it in your computer, you could do that. But once again, I do want to be a part of helping you be your best with your goal setting for 2022. And also, too, it's a little selfish knowing that if I'm helping others, I'm helping myself. If I'm, teaching things, I want to, I have to do them myself, right? What do they say? The best teacher is the best student is the teacher. So by helping you, I'll be helping myself as well. I think 2022 can be a huge year. God willing, we're coming out of this COVID nightmare. I just celebrated, the new year like all of you did. And I still feel like last year was 2019. It's like, what the hell? So let's get back to life. I'm here in New York State where, it's been pretty severe, I'll say, sanctions. And we've been limited into what we can do for about almost 2 years now. I'm ready to get out of that. And let's pray and hope and plan that 2022, that we are finally coming out of the pandemic, that Omicron is the last stand of COVID, and that we get back to somewhat of a normal life. And we don't have to wear masks anymore, and we can feel comfortable with getting together in public and start tiptoeing and maybe sprinting back into a normal life here. But assuming that happens, what would make your life a 10 out of 10 in all the categories that we were talked about? And maybe I don't have a category maybe I didn't mention a category that you have. and I would be interested. Let me know what that is. Let me know what that category is. Once again, David at davidmammano.com. I would love to hear from you. Let's engage. I will respond. I'm not that famous yet where I can't respond to all my emails. I'm not Gary Vee yet. I will respond. So throw me an email. Throw me a text or a phone call, 585-317-8254. I'd love to hear from you. And again, let me know if you are interested in me putting together a free webinar, with my friends, John Mitchell, Kelly Hatfield from Think It Be It, where we'll get together and try to help you create a plan for your goals to actually become a reality. And the strategy, once again, is based on science. That's what they do. So anyway, my best to all of you. I love the Gonzo family. Thank you for everything. Thank you for sharing your heartbeats with me today. I know there's a lot of content out there, and I always appreciate when you give me your attention and listen and watch. I hope to have the honor of helping you be your best in 2022. Have a great day, and make sure to stay awesome.